within TV. The federals printing G's. The depressing since police present with their energy. Even the flower of life, my message goes really deep, homie, it's all facts. Valuable rhymes, unlike a lot of cats. You know how they rap, how they gonna make it with the tracks. 0% of this album sounds like that, matter of fact. Yo, cut the beat off, bro. Cut the beat off, bro. Cut it off. This is what's gonna get fucking ugly. Yo, I just wanted to say, this is your fault. Back to you soft little spitters, I'm ill enough to give you a brain stroke till you pass in a hospital basic. You basic, I'm basic, close on the craft. And I'm almost hopeless yet mad. Dopeness don't blow up as fast as the dopiest trap flows from assholes who are convinced they all so hot. You know the game's fucked when they say they'll never fall off because they can't go off the top. Little Yachty, I never motherfucking met you, but in your freshman freestyle, you sounded borderline special. Let me stop. This ain't for you, this for all of you social media actors perceived to the masses as the meanest and baddest G's on the map because you speaking on mad pics, talking about how you gon' squeeze on your gat when you see who you having beef with on that shit. Please, you are rap bitch, the leads with the action on streets, you ain't savage, that's that shit is Chief Keef is just laughing. You geeks keep on chatting, you off with the trend, your facts are not true. The real talking hip-hop's become Bill O'Reilly on Fox News, all fake and strictly for views. Some of y'all are nothing but a marketing image with the machine, making the bars that you spitting with mad hit songs for you written. You the definition of selling your soul. You cry behind your smiles walking on the Ellen DeGeneres show. You'll probably have a ghostwriter for your suicide note. You want a thin line from falling off, ironic you'll use a tightrope. Kill yourself, fuck you nigga, I probably fucked up getting a feature. Well guess what, you don't like me, I don't like you neither. Off that, let me end this shit like this. These last lines are for a snake. I gave you some good cash to do business, but we didn't. You used it and dashed from the project we were to do for a track. Nigga, I'll pull up to your office like Ice Cube with the bat like, where's my money? Where the fuck is my fucking money? You think this rap shit is funny? You think this don't revolve around the cream vanilla ice ass nigga? I'll do you like Suge Knight and hang you over the balcony like I told you quit playing with my moolah. Splat and go inside and piss on your bitch's futon. Fuck you. And to the rest of y'all, I wish insomnia to it. So please try sleep and dream so deep. I'm Freddy Krueger to a lot of you snoozes. So welcome to the nightmare of dirty capital. If you want a dollar in your pocket, you already trapped in the words I'm rapping. So I'ma try to give you light February 9th. But for now, this dark liquor in my system make me wanna fight. I wanna box a corrupt policeman who's nice. Look off the coast, the hurricane's coming tonight. The government wants to rain over.
Right before he leaves.
Yeah. I know, right?
Don't tell City Side.
I'm so proud of him.
Hear ye, hear ye. Make way for the Kings. The Kings are here.
Got here, what, August?
You think the bitches are great because you're fucking seasonal, nigga? You can't be seasonal. Niggas got this shit's 24 hours a day.
KINGZ. You're listening to the KINGZ podcast with your hosts, Charismatic, Guerbys, and Irish O'Neal.
Hey, welcome to the KINGZ podcast. My name is Guerbys.
It's your boy, Charismatic.
Yo, what up? It's Irish O'Neal.
And we here. This is the KINGZ podcast. Thank you, KINGZ, for supporting the last couple of videos. Keep supporting those. Keep watching those. Well, this is the KINGZ podcast where we talk about the male-female dynamic, relationships. We give advice on those relationships and what you do and don't do in terms of attracting women or how to get rid of one, maybe.
Yeah. Not
murder. Okay, so that's the key thing there.
And you know what else? I was thinking about this, especially after my story from the last episode with the nightmarish events that took place. But
right.
You know, when that like 38-year-old chick was like, you know, you've got a lot of growing up to do and stuff like that. Like, it's something I want to highlight. Like, I don't like. How old are you guys? I'm 26. You're almost 30, right?
Yeah,
almost 30.
I'm 29. Yes.
29. So we're all like mid to late 20s.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
almost. It's like we're pretty young in the grand scheme of things still. So it's like, you know.
Speak for yourself. I'm black man 60.
Well, okay.
What you talking about?
Okay, you can't be taking Patrice's jokes, okay?
Why not? We speak to Patrice all the time.
joke.
Fuck
That's a
you.
Patrice
That's a
joke.
lot of people's jokes.
That's
not just Patrice that has that.
That's just that's just a hacky black premise.
Exactly. Thank you. You want to give that all to Patrice? That's not Patrice's.
I'm gonna give it to Patrice because that's where I heard it
I'm
first.
sure
That's where you heard it.
I'm
You
sure
ain't listening.
Pryor probably said something like that about
You
No, yeah,
ain't
Pryor did. Oh, yeah,
listening.
you're right. Yeah,
You know
he
what I
did.
mean? Like,
Yeah, he did.
Thank you for teaching the black man about black people.
I know.
Respect.
It's for white
comic.
for
Okay.
white
Respect.
exploiting.
Respect.
But in the grand scheme of things, like, things are going to continue to like develop and I don't know, say like change necessarily, but they're going to continue to grow. And that what we're saying is like people watching this, they're going to see like things grow and change as the episodes go on too. Like I don't want to speak for all of us. I don't profess to have all the answers. It's merely just like a good way to go about it.
Well, if you're talking about answers about booty, I got all the answers for you.
Well, yeah, specifically butt.
You went like this.
Butt stuff, charismatic.
I'm a booty master. You know what I'm
Like you
saying?
thought about it before you looked at me.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I cover all my.
He's like, wait.
Yeah, we're not
Yeah, no, I got all
experts.
that.
Yeah, we're not experts. We're not experts. We're just it's just a culmination of all our experiences together about dealing with these ladies and things like that. But I think it would be different. You shouldn't listen to us if we were all 19 and 16
For
years
sure.
old.
Like we
obviously.
have a little bit of experience,
Yeah,
but the
yeah,
point
yeah.
is like we're still in the journey. Like it's a constant learning process.
Yeah,
like,
we have
shit
jobs.
might
Would
have-
you trust
Right.
someone that doesn't act? Would you trust someone coaching you how to play basketball if they don't actively play?
Not really.
Exactly. I want more. I want someone that has like skin in the game. I mean, like yeah, you could trust them, but skin in the game currently probably has a little bit more. What is it called? Insight.
I'll tell you, it's like like Michael Jordan's obviously a legend, but like the NBA is a little bit different now than it was in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, very
So
different.
it's- You know what I mean? It's like
Very
it's
different,
only going to take you so far.
Yeah.
Only because he existed, though. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that.
But the thing is let's not say we can't learn from the past of past soldiers and things like that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Patrice, like we call upon a lot of his teachings and things that he said. Dante Nero,
And a lot of it
different
is
guys
trying
like
to apply it to a younger demographic because
Right.
their stuff really was sort of catered towards like 30s to 40, like older women. It's like it's a lot tougher with younger chicks because they're not exactly ready for lack of a better term, this wisdom.
Well, I was not
This
that they're
approach.
not. Yeah, I don't know if they're not ready for it. It's just it's
It's new.
yeah, it's just brand new. There's probably something they never heard, and I think it's a little different because 10 years ago, Blackfella was more like 15 years ago now, right?
Yeah,
Damn
really
near
close to that.
now. So I think women are a little different than they were then too. in terms of-
Definitely.
You're right. So it's good that we're in a weird way we're not that old, so we can still speak to some of the younger generation, and we know guys who are younger than us who are in their early 20s and what they're dealing with. And
We're in like a good balance.
yeah,
like,
we're
between the
different
two.
between the two.
Look, we're dead
We're
smack
not
in the
old, but
middle.
we're not too young.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm Haitian. We don't have that concept of being old at a young age because most of our men
don't?
live- No, we don't. Because my grandfather was 80 years old when he died, so that's
And mine was
normal.
90
Right. So how do you have that concept then?
because he wasn't in America.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because you're only a black man here. You're just a man in Africa.
Okay.
So, you know,
That's
you
what
hear
I'm
what I'm
talking
saying? You hear
about.
what I'm saying?
That's
He's
So
just
that's
a
not
man over there. Over here, you a black man.
Yeah. Like I felt since I survived the hood, I thought I was gonna live a long time, and that's how I want to continue. Speaking about,
I mean, that's a good
living a
segue
long
right
time-
there. Yeah.
Speaking of living a long time,
Let's get these plugs.
Yeah, let's get these plugs. Yeah. Oh, we want to do plugs first? No, we do plugs after the principles usually.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
right.
yeah,
You're
that's
right.
fine.
Yeah, we'll get into the principles.
Yeah, let's
first.
get into the principles first. So the first thing first, you need confidence. Definition: belief in oneself. No music. Oh yeah.
Well, not for the
Oh, this
three-
is not the
it's
plugs. It's not the plugs. You need confidence in oneself.
We should get music for this too.
We should get music for this.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, for the principles,
nigga,
the
yeah,
King's
why
principles.
not,
Yeah, that's
man?
true. That's a good point.
Yeah, we need a 3 principle drop.
3 principle drop. Yeah. You need confidence in yourself, believe in yourself and your abilities, and more importantly, your sex appeal. You gotta think your sex say. And if you're not sexy, work on it.
Yep, you can fake it.
Okay.
And plus, ugly people have the best sex. So
Yeah, you gotta believe what you're selling. If I go to sell you a car and I'm like,
true.
and I'm
It's
like, Guerby, this is a great fucking car. Okay,
Right.
it's a safe car. It's got a lot of great features. This that, and I'm giving you all the deals. Versus I go like, yeah, it's a car. You could buy it.
You could buy it. Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, are you gonna buy that from me? No. Like
No.
you want them to be passionate about what that you want them to believe that they believe in what they're selling you, not just selling you whatever to make a paycheck.
The kind of
Even if that's the case.
the kind of confidence I want you to have is that you could sell salt to a
Slug.
to a slug, or I was gonna say snail, because same thing. It's the same thing. It's the same idea. That's the kind of confidence I want you to have, that you could sell. You have to be able to sell yourself in that way to anyone, Because if you don't believe in yourself, like you said, then why would they? Especially women, they don't believe in what you're talking about. Is they want to see it. They want to see you do more than they see you talk. So I think it's really important. And if you don't have confidence in yourself, do get good at something, and then that'll give you confidence in that thing. Something will give you confidence. Either working out, losing weight, start doing comedy, stand-up comedy, start dancing, start rapping, start going to school to become a lawyer, or whatever the thing that you want to achieve, right? That you have plans. And you have to have goals. You have to be goal-oriented. That's very important for you as a young man, because it's good for your development and your mindset too. Because there's gonna times it's gonna get rough. You need to learn how to deal with the setbacks.
Yeah. So you have to have a plan of attack. You need to set goals. And like a big exercise that was really helpful for me is what you do is you sit down and you write your short-term goals, your long-term goals. Then you write how your short-term goals feed into your long-term goals, how you're going to do it and you write out the entire process. And even if you have to do that every single day, you do it every single day. And it's super helpful because it's a lot of people have trouble with I can't remember, I was saying it to one of you guys earlier, but it's like I sometimes have trouble with like having a lot of like circular thinking. Like I'll get sort of like to me it'll feel like okay, I'm gonna sit down to address this issue, and like I'll start diving into it, and it's almost the effect of like rereading two sentences in a book over and over and over again, where it's like, fuck, I'm trying to get to that next sentence, but my brain keeps like popping back to that.
You didn't see that.
The camera caught that. No, I agree 1,000%. I agree 1,000%. Nah, but don't just sit around and be like, oh, I don't have confidence, and then don't do anything about it. You can't be that way. That's
woe is me.
Yeah, no woe. You can't sit back and just think life is gonna happen for you. It doesn't matter. Like when I started comedy stand up, for example, I had a 3-phase plan, and so. But that's laid out for the next 25, 30 years. So those are the type of things you have to start thinking about, young men out there. And for the lady kings, you could employ the same things too. Write things down and start achieving them, and just start doing the daily things that you need to do to get to your goals. Number 2 principle that you need to not be afraid of these women's reactions. You have to be emotionally independent. No matter how bad it gets when you get out there. With women, talking to them, or what you imagine in your brain is going to happen, it most likely will never happen. I have to keep mentioning this because guys have a huge fear of talking to women. It's like one of the first things you need to do to be able to get these ladies is that you got to talk to them.
A lot of comics we talk to too, where it's like you'll bomb in front of 42 people, but you won't bomb in front of one chick.
Right.
And also, you don't think like them. So which also means you're not really going to be able to anticipate what they're going to do, and you don't know their reaction.
The best you can do is make educated guesses.
Yeah, and you still might be wrong.
Exactly.
And you still might be wrong, right.
Because they're, like we do generalize a lot here. You are going to run into instances where it's like, that's not how they describe it. It's like, it can happen.
It can happen.
Sure. So that's why you need to be able to adapt.
Expect unexpected. But the thing is, this is also, I don't want guys to be like, oh, I'm not tall enough, and I'm not skinny enough, and I don't make enough money, and so I don't want to talk to. No, I don't want you to have that mindset because that doesn't matter. A woman doesn't care about all that initially.
And
it's about how you make them feel.
And you're setting yourself up for failure too, because it's like let's just like we'll use the example of like if a fat guy, right, like he or even just a guy that's a little chubby, like misrepresents himself before he even meets with a chick and says like, I'm athletically built, and it's like, you're only lying to that chick and saying that because you don't believe in yourself that you can get.
Motherfucker, he's athletically built in Japan. Okay, like y'all need to stop that. Y'all don't know sumo wrestlers are athletic.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying?
Like, you know what I mean?
But there's no reason to lie.
Football players are they're athletic.
But he's talking about lying, literally just lying.
That's fair, but I'm just saying just relating weight with not being athletic is fair.
I want the Kings to be righteous.
Yes, boom.
Like you could use height even. Like, you know what I mean? If a guy's
if you fat but you athletic, put down athletic.
Like if a guy's 5'4", but he tells a chick he's 5'6", like that's only because he thinks that he's not good enough to get a chick unless he's 5'6".
If she only gonna see you in shoes, that's 2 inches right there. You ain't.
This is true, but I'd rather you just be true to yourself.
You're really nitpicking my goddamn example today,
You're picking.
Don't let the white guy win.
No, I just think it's important. Like, and this is why you want to get good at something ahead of time, so that way you're working on yourself.
Yeah.
So before you even approach a woman, that's why I say confidence first, because you need to start working on yourself first, and then you start approaching to these ladies. Because if you walk up to a lady and then you're not working on anything, now you're insecure about not doing anything or working on anything. So it's gonna impact your confidence. So before you even do that, start working on yourself. Get better at something. Get good at something. Stop doing whatever you're doing. Stop doing nothing. Is what I'm saying.
Yes. That's the
That's
biggest
the
thing.
worst. Is stop doing nothing. You gotta do something, okay, and then work towards getting better at it, and then approach these ladies and talk to them. So that way you don't lack confidence.
You have to manifest your own destiny.
Right.
It's not just gonna walk in.
It's not gonna happen.
and
You
hop
got to
in your lap.
manifest your own destiny before she manifests those nuts.
Yep.
Facts.
Yep.
So she can rub on these nuts.
Oh, damn
Suck on
day.
these nuts.
You know what I'm saying?
Spit on these nuts.
Manifest them nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Crack these nuts. Okay,
You know what
that's
I'm
not
saying?
good. That's not good. Anyway, the last principle that you need is to have a sense of humor, and you gotta make these ladies laugh. You gotta make them laugh.
Yep.
It's one of the key things that help you. It makes you less boring. It makes you more interesting. It makes you more fun to be around. It makes her think about you when you're not around, because when you're not around, she's not laughing. But then when she gets around, now she's laughing. Now she associates you with good times. That's why you have to be funny, or use your sense of humor at least if you're not gonna be funny. And then and of course that's part of your social intelligence, being able to deal with her, people around you.
And you don't
when you're
need
out
to be
and
a
about.
comedian to make
You
them
don't
laugh.
need to be a
I
comedian.
don't.
I prefer. No, I'm joking. No, but I'm being dead serious. It's like it's not about that. It's about being able to regulate your emotions while you're out with other people. You know. And I the advice I gave was just don't be negative when you're out there socializing with people.
Yeah.
That usually curbs everything else. Because as soon as
Take it from me.
right. I'm not telling you to smile. I'm not telling you to do anything extra or act all, like you're uppity or anything like that.
You don't have
No.
to be fake about it.
Don't
but-
have to be fake.
But don't do what I usually do, which is just go into a place and look angry.
Right, yeah. Don't look
inherently.
angry. Don't take it as a negative situation. Everything is negative. Why did that guy say it like that for? Don't take anything like that. Just let it roll off the back and keep it moving. And then while you're doing that, make her laugh at the same time. So now she associates you with fun, good times, funny. And that creates feelings. And make the coochie wet. So there you go. That's those are the 3 principles. Let's go into the pligzogs. My name is Guerby. You can find me on Funny Name Guerby on Instagram. I have shows. Don't come to them. Thank you.
Yo, this your boy Charismatic _me on IG and Twitter, Charismatic IPE on Facebook, and you can catch me at the NYE, Cure Festival at the Middle East on January 1st, or January 3rd and January 4th. Be ready to, laugh, yo.
What's up, guys? Irish O'Neal. Follow me on all social media at It's Irish O'Neal. Also, check out the STC podcast, Shit Talking Cunts. We go live every Sunday on YouTube. A couple days later, out on iTunes and all major podcasting apps. Call in on the phone line if you guys want to fucking leave a message and have us answer it. We don't care. And also, shout out to this wonderful podcast, KINGZ. Check us out. And my band's album, Fading Leaves. Get it now. dangsleaf.bandcamp.com. We had our first sale the other day. Hey.
Yay! Okay. There you go.
Hey.
And also, we will be puffing on this beautiful Girl Scout cookies.
Girl Scout cookies. That's what it's called.
Yep. Girl Scout. Yeah.
So it tastes like all the different cookies.
No, it tastes
It's
like
still,
it
it's
tastes,
still
I'm joking.
marijuana.
I'm
It still
joking.
tastes like marijuana.
it tastes like a bunch of different Girl Scouts.
That's.
Of age ones.
Thank you for clarifying.
No, that's what
I'm
you know what
talking about murdering them, not anything sexual, you deviants.
all which are in the white wheelhouse.
Yeah, come on. I'm just playing to my demographic.
Yeah, he's right. All he needs is a van now.
You're making me very uncomfortable. Okay.
Don't worry, you
Hey,
pick that. I ain't gonna do
the
that.
white ladies are into serial killers right now. It's
They
all the rage.
They are though.
Well, speaking of killing.
Flicking.
Speaking of killing, I almost died last week. Okay, okay, I'll just tell the
King
story.
story time.
King story time.
King's story time.
All right, so last week I was going to work and it started snowing about like 3 or 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and I was on the highway.
It was snowing like.
I don't know what the snow
Those
sounds like.
are snow sounds.
That's snow hitting something.
No, that's snow blowing against your car.
Yeah, snow hitting my car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep telling the story.
And
Give me
it
a
was 30 degrees outside, at the time, and I was on the highway going to work, and I was doing 60. Now, 60 miles per hour. Normally, in that situation, you're supposed to be going like 40 miles per hour, things like that.
See, here's your first mistake. You
What
should
was
have
my
been
first mistake?
you should have been rocking that Sammy Hagar lifestyle.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means. What's that reference?
You can't drive 55.
You can't drive 55?
Sorry.
Bro, you're gonna
I
have
don't
to
get that
explain the
reference.
whole
Yes.
fucking reference.
I don't know what that means. What's the reference to that? To?
You know who Sammy Hagar is?
No, I
No.
don't know who that is.
Okay,
No.
Sammy Hagar is the second singer that replaced David Lee Roth in Van Halen. He has this famous. he has a
I don't.
Who is Van Halen?
Right. What is Van Halen?
Who is Jesus Christ? Keep going.
Yeah, I know
awesome
some
80s band.
You guys gonna hate us for saying some of it, but I don't know who that is. I just don't
okay.
know.
He had a song called "I
And
Can't Drive
are they
55.
brothers
Okay,
to the
definitely.
Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Not at all.
Okay.
I know
Van,
the Red Hot Chili
Van
Peppers.
Halen's
know
like
anybody.
they're like famous 80s. I don't know if I call them hair metal. They're not really hair metal, but there's an 80s
No,
band.
I've heard of them. I've heard
Yeah.
Van Halen. I was
You've
joking.
probably heard a bunch of their tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not their tunes, but them. I've heard of
Okay.
them.
Fair.
I've heard the name.
And like I said, and I don't wear seatbelt. Well, I do now. I have changed my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear seatbelts all the time now. But at the time, I was not wearing a seatbelt, and I started. The feeling is like I was hydroplaning for sure. That's what it was called.
Oh, that
And
shit's
then
scary,
I had
dog.
I started floating on the highway, and at first I thought I was gonna float because I was in the left lane, of course, and I thought I was gonna start floating towards the left, which was like my fear, like my biggest fear. But I started floating to the right, and there was a car right next to me at the time, and then my fear became I'm gonna get this person hurt, plus get me hurt, and then I'm gonna hit a tree and die. So. It must have been like 4 to 3 seconds. I must have been hydroplaning. That's what it felt. But to me, it was an eternity. Like the whole time this was happening, I was just like, "Oh
God.
no!" But the only good thing I think that was good. I stayed calm, and
Yeah, you
I
didn't
didn't
react
panic.
and slam on the brakes
Yeah, I
or
didn't
anything.
slam my brakes, and I didn't start.
'Cause that's all you got to do
Right.
is just ease off.
And then
it.
that's when the car starts moving. And
So there are two things about that.
Go ahead.
So if you don't doing in big sweeping motions, then your car actually won't deviate. You can actually do it in small motions and have your tire go like that,
Right.
and that'll actually slow you down because it's adding friction.
oh, okay.
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
just real tight ones.
Yeah, okay. Oh, essentially, okay, that's good. Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought if by overreacting was going to be a bad thing.
If you have more range, then you can do bigger ones, and it'll cut down the distance.
Okay,
you know
okay,
what I'm saying?
okay.
So like, yeah.
I just felt like because the snow was packing, that it was creating ice underneath. That
No, definitely.
By going too much, it may force my back wheels to start. I don't know. Anyway, this was going on through my mind at the time, and then I got under control and I slowed down and I switched lanes and everything like that. And then I think maybe 5 seconds later after that, I just started bawling out. I just started crying really badly, kind of like a baby.
Like a baby
Like,
back,
I
bitch.
was
A
just
baby
like, oh
back,
man,
bitch.
I was
Guerbys
A
like, I'm
baby
never going to
back,
get some
bitch.
pussy again.
Nah, actually, and that's the one thing I wanted to talk about in the podcast. The thing that came to me initially when it started happening, I was like, no. Like, that was the first thing. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, no, I do not want this to happen. Like, I do not want it to be
And
like
the very
this.
next thing was, yo, I really wanted that bowl of Cheerios this morning, right?
No, the very
Should have had them damn Cheerios.
no. The very next thought was I thought about my mom. That was one of the things, and then I thought about my family, and then I started thinking about comedy. That I can't do this anymore. That's done. That's over with. And when I got under control and I started thinking about that, I was like, oh snap, who's gonna take care of my mom if I had died here right now? Who would have taken care of my mom and then my family and all these things? And then I just started bawling, and then I bawled all the way, basically, the rest of the way through the highway till I got off the exit. And
There
things
you
like
go.
that.
There you go.
And yeah, it was just weird. It's just I can't help these people anymore. Like this, like that option not being available to me really bothered the shit out of me. You know. Anyway, I'm not gonna get emotional. That's what I made my promise to myself. But yeah, it was just really tough. It was just a really tough thought. And then when I
Guerbys
finally
just going to keep talking of that one little Dave American tear.
Well, honestly, that helped make a lot of your person make sense as to why, like, the straight edge, and I can see all that playing into that. Like, you trying to stay as long as possible, to take care
Right.
of everybody and shit.
because for me, it's about being able to help as many people as possible, especially the people that are closest to me, like especially blood and things like that.
True. See, like I feel the same way, but the minute it gets that this life gets boring, like I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like the minute it's just like, damn, like I ain't got nothing to do. Like that's why I'm afraid to end up like in a vegetative state. I'm terrified because I'm gonna be like my
I'll pull
only
the- I'll
thoughts
pull
gonna
the
be
plug,
like
yeah.
kill me, dog, kill. anytime I'm gonna bite you every time I see you so that you try and kill me. Like I'm like.
Right.
I couldn't do it personally. Whoever is doing it and able to stay, like y'all better than me. I really respect that. Like I'm feeble. Call me that.
No, I want to be here as long as I can, so that way I could always be a resource to somebody.
I want to be here as long as I can without being a burden to someone else.
That I'm not worried about
big
that.
for
We
me.
want to be
That's
here
a
as long as
big-
we can because who else is going to teach these bitches how to be?
Nah.
We didn't need to go there. We didn't
Nah,
need to go
I don't
there.
even
We
know.
didn't
Like,
need to go
no.
there.
It was a
We
joke.
didn't
'Cause,
turn
like,
it there.
I
I'm
mean-
sorry. I thought this was America. I thought this was a comedy podcast.
You could, you could.
White boy.
Yeah, well, you could tell your jokes.
white boy shit.
It's just like seriously. I just believe that like if I'm able to become a dad and get married and all that stuff, is that I want to be there for my kids as long as I can.
Little Guerby Jr.
Me too.
Well, they're all gonna be big-headed children. None of them are gonna be little. But the thing is,
That's what
I
you
just
say now.
really-
The first one gonna be a runt.
right, like 5 foot. That would actually scare the shit out
Nate
of me.
Robinson.
That would scare the shit out of me. I don't want that. But no, it's fine. I love my kids no matter what. I don't care what they turn out to be in life and things like that. I mean, of course, I'm gonna raise them to be goal oriented and things like that, and not to
definitely.
be wastes. Be just a body, just breathing on. Just
I only have one
Taking up
thing.
space.
I just have one thing. Like I have one thing that I know that like for some reason would rub me the wrong way. Like if they just didn't want to have kids, like I wouldn't disown. Like I wouldn't be like mad at them, but like that would be one thing I wouldn't be happy about.
your kids
like,
not wanting to have kids.
Yeah, don't kill the bloodline.
Wow.
That isn't that is a little bit, but like not enough to be like angst towards you or anything. But like definitely something I'd like be like damn.
Yeah, I think I would
Like,
be bothered. by
bothered.
that.
Yeah,
bothered
definitely
by
bothered
it
me.
because, but I don't know. I think realistically, that humans have mixed up so much anyway. The bloodline's already mixed up
Yeah.
a lot anyway.
I'm good about.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I love my father so much, and I want his bloodline to keep going on, and like them, like literally them stopping mine from going further is stopping my father's from going for. Like I would be a little bit, not for my own purposes, only because like I think he was a great man, and there are going to be more great men to come out of that, you know,
I feel that.
or people. It could be women
Yeah,
as well.
I struggle with it too because it's like I kind of go back and forth on it. Like I don't really know if I want to have kids or not. Like
Okay.
there's a big part of me that's like, I don't know, call it selfish or whatever, but it's just like I'm like if I had a kid right now, I'm like I'm not really established where I want to be in my career and stuff right now, and that's definitely gonna put a halt on it. Like I don't have the
That
money
has
for
for
a
me.
kid, like all that. Like I wouldn't want to do any. So it's like maybe it's just because I don't have those means that it in a way seems unobtainable. So I just kind of go like I don't want it, but at the same time it's like, man, I like the idea of not ever having to like get a babysitter or like worry about bringing a kid on a vacation or this and that. But and so
Well,
I do wonder how that.
But
like,
I do like the
affects-
idea better of taking my children on vacation.
Yeah. I love kids.
I love kids.
I absolutely love kids. When they're, I love the little demons that they are growing up initially because they're so selfish and self-centered. Because it's like a up and close opportunity to learn to study humans again.
Yes.
So it's like to me, I'm
Well,
fascinated
and they're
by.
extremely honest.
Extremely.
They don't know how.
They don't
you
know
have
how to lie.
You
Yeah.
learn how to filter
Yeah,
yourself
yeah,
and
yeah,
edit.
yeah.
Like there's
They're
that-
liars too, but they
Yeah.
lie about things they don't they don't realize you know everything about them.
Yeah.
But they think that
Well, there's that old like I feel like it's from medieval times or something maybe, but it's like a quote where it talks about like the genius that comes from the mouth of babes.
Yes, it does.
Simple.
I mean, there's none of that worldly shit seeping into
Yeah,
what
yeah,
they're
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
It's literally
There's no baggage.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think this like it's literally
Yeah.
straight thought. It's
Yeah,
not.
straight
It's not
thought,
like
right.
oh, life put this in the way. Life put this in the way.
And
Life put thi-
it's coming straight from their belly. It's
Yup.
coming straight from what they actually believe
Like
that.
literally, I had one of my cousins came over from Nigeria when she was younger, and her first question was like, "Why is that Asian boy across the street?" Or like he was Chinese because the only Asian she knew was Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, while a very racist question,
Right.
a very honest question. She's never seen them like that before.
Yeah, but she has no malice towards that Asian.
No,
person.
she had no malice, but like, well, she might have because she coming from Nigeria. There is like, anything. So like, let's say like
associated with Asian people are bad.
the association with Asian people are bad because like so literally they call anything fake China.
Okay, I can see that.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
can see
that
right.
had so
Okay.
it honestly gives everything else up, and
Yeah,
they don't
yeah.
know the difference between Chinese and other Asians.
Right, they don't.
So it just kind of
It just
like
came out like that. Yeah.
yeah. So like it could have been. I have no idea, but she's a child, so I can't take it that way.
But and I want to make this final point, and then we can move on to the next piece, next topic. But the thing is like I want to accomplish a lot of things in my life before I'm gone. And I want to get married and have children and all those things. But there's a lot of things in comedy I want to accomplish too. And comedy is going to be my vehicle to be able to do all the other things I want to do in terms of my family, my mom, and be able to take care of them and things like that. So I think that was what hit me the hardest, that pained me the most, was that I was going to lose the vehicle to do all that. And I wasn't going to be able to see my full potential. And so that's why I say, that's why my life matters to me so much, is because I am working on myself. I am trying to better myself. And I used to be almost 300 pounds. I lost, pretty much 80 pounds.
What are you trying to say? I'm almost 300. No, I'm a lot bigger than you.
6'5", yeah, right.
Can I fucking borrow some?
Right.
I was sitting here looking over here at myself. I'm like, God, do I always look like this much of a Holocaust victim?
This shit, I would never understand. Like, because I've met some people in my life that just like they struggle to put on weight. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? How do you struggle to put on weight?
Metabolism.
Like, bro, if I like, you can see the sandwich I ate on my, like, you can see it on my body already.
I do 3,000 calories in shakes alone a day.
You should stop drinking that many shakes, my friend.
Nah, bro.
No, for calories.
Use it up while you can. Use it up while you can, because it won't stay this way forever.
Yeah, but all the sugars that he's putting into his body is not good for him.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Anywho's, the point is, do enough in your life or try to achieve something in your life that it matters to you.
Yeah.
And don't because I see, like, especially the incels, and we're gonna have a incel episode one of these days, is that you can't throw your life away if it means nothing to you or you don't want to. So find meaning in your life.
Yeah.
And then so that way, you'll cry like me in a car driving to work one day.
See, you found your vehicle, and I think comedy is gonna be a big thing for me. But like, for me, I can't I'm looking to say it with that type of fortitude, if you will, because like I've been on so many journeys that I thought would be that'd be my journey. You know what I'm saying? And it just hasn't ended up. So like this one, I'm treating as such, but like I'm definitely weary of the fact that like it may not be where I end up. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely hoping it is. I'm sick of changing lanes.
You know what? That brings up something I was like reflecting on myself the last couple of days, where it's like, because I think like I was watching Joey Diaz, and he was just talking about how like if you really want to like make something out of something, you really have to like make it like your driving focus.
Right.
And so it's like I like a lot of times I wonder like I have all of these different interests, right? Like I want to do music, I want to do a band, I want to fucking do comedy, I want to do podcasting, but it's like
which one right now?
Well, yeah, and it's like I can't not do music. Like just I feel like I can't not do that, but at the same time, it's like
that should be your driver then.
Yeah, well, it's like, well, then do I need to only do music if I want that to work? But even then, it's like, then it's like, oh, well, then I'm not getting to do the podcast, which I love doing, or like comedy, which I'm enjoying doing and stuff. So it's like, it's hard. It's really difficult to like sort of.
Bro, I've been there. Like
shit out.
I struck out as an athlete. You know what I'm saying? I struck out as an athlete. I did pretty well, just didn't make it to the NBA where I wanted to go, so that fell off. I graduated with an engineering degree, not really enjoying that. I have my real estate license. That one, I'm still trying to build a book of business. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm also a comic, and I'm trying to build a following. Like all of these are exhausting, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I don't know. I'm literally just driving. Like I don't know if I see a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm just steamrolling ahead.
Right.
Well, it's weird because it's like there's all these steps that are like these are the steps that you're supposed to follow. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm doing all the things, and it's like. But it's like you're not guaranteed anything. So it's like there is a bit of luck, there is a bit of knowing people, there is a bit of right place, right time. But it's like, it is like it's crazy how it's like you could have someone that like even in comedy like they come on even someone like Pete Davidson, like he was like pretty big like pretty early, like really fast he got moved through the ranks. Whereas like some people maybe been doing it for like 20 years and they're good and they really haven't gotten their like break yet.
Right. I think in terms of your situation, I just continue doing what you're doing currently because that's hard. But I don't think you're considering how young you are still. You can still accomplish a lot of things.
That to me. I like
Dude,
people keep saying that shit to me, but like
and it's
I
like,
don't feel that.
Well, and
I don't.
It's like,
feel
well, I don't
that.
want to rest on the fact that I'm young because then like, well, at what point is it like, oh, well, now you're kind of like old. What are you doing? Like, like what is the age that it's like, oh, you're not young anymore? Is
Like,
it
I
is it 30?
expected to have made myself by 30.
You should just make a decision on what you think is most valuable to you.
Probably the podcast, But the weird thing with that is like I feel like comedy is such a close tie with that. But then I also don't feel like by that nature then I'll be able to take stand up as far as like I could because I'm gonna have more devotion to the podcast.
Okay. You just have to pick something.
You see, like the reason I know I love comedy so much is because I always kind of wanted to be a person that kind of like lived off of being myself.
Right.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Like
Like
being my own boss. Like
be my own boss. Doing like if I wanted to smoke a blunt today and go into a freaking meeting, I'm doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that's what I want to be able to. I want to run my own life and not have to hide my personality or hide my hair or hide my skin or
Yeah.
I don't want to have to worry about any of that bullshit.
Well,
you
and
know
I guess
what I mean?
like money also like just isn't like a big driving force in my life. Like obviously you need money to have like a roof over your head.
Yeah,
and
it's
eat
a
and those kind of
necessary
things.
evil, yeah.
Like sure, I'd like to be able to go on like a vacation a year, but like I also don't need like a fancy car, like I don't need like all this crazy shit. Like
Nah,
I was,
if my it depends
would
who I'm
like
with.
'em.
It depends who I'm
exactly.
with. It depends who I'm with. If my significant other wants that stuff, then I'll get that stuff. I'll work myself to if she wants a big house or she wants a nice cars and all that, then I'll work to get that if
See,
she wants that.
I
You know
like
what I'm saying?
I like
But
quality,
for me,
I, like
don't care
utility.
about it that much.
same.
See,
That's right.
see, that's the thing. Like, I don't care about the fanciness. But I like quality, but I also like utility.
Right,
Yes.
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if it's a very useful device, it's gonna be the best of that useful device
right.
that I'm going to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I don't see myself having a 10-car garage.
Me either.
That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense to
no,
me.
me
Like,
either, right.
all right, I'm gonna have a 4x4. I'm gonna have a sports car.
Yeah.
Like those are you can literally see the purpose behind them. This
Right.
one I like. This one I enjoy. This has a speed.
Right.
This one I use when I need to do some bigger shit.
Do some shit. Yeah.
That's the way I work. Like I'll probably have a house and I'll probably have a condo in the city because I love being in the city.
City's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to talk about your situation now?
Yeah, I mean it's well, we lost an entire episode because my system's a piece of shit. So there's not
It happens.
There's
It
not a lot of like context to it, but essentially we were just sort of talking about
We were beating around the bush before anyway, so it don't even matter.
yeah, we were just basically talking about my situation.
Yeah, I
sort
think
of
that
like,
maybe the audience would have gotten confused by all the way we was kind of.
Yeah, but
going
no,
around
I
it.
mean essentially the just it was like a personal revelation I came to through talking with Guerby and Charismatic on that episode that y'all will never see.
Ever.
Not that we didn't want y'all to.
We wanted y'all to.
And basically, we wanted I think it's good to talk about because Charismatic brought up a good point. Like I think a lot of dudes probably do this, and it's like essentially the mistake was I had suggested something to a chick based on what I like and just assumed that that's what they like, without really like seeing if that was the case, and then in retrospect understanding how what I said would come off extremely like almost like an emotional response.
Be seen,
Yeah,
perceived
it
as
could easily
emotional.
be
Yeah,
perceived
okay,
as
yeah.
easily be perceived as emotional. It could easily be perceived as jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Like that much is obvious.
Or you're not being able to move on.
You know what I'm saying? That's definitely what it looks like to outliers. I mean, I'm not sure what the situation ended up looking like to her, but you found out in the end that like the way you were perceiving the situation was definitely not the way she was looking at it.
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean that in itself should teach a lot of men things that like, bro, when they're talking about mansplaining, like I hate that other trivial bullshit. Like when anytime a guy tries to explain anything, he's mansplaining. This was mansplaining. Like you literally
that's fair.
put the man idea over anything that she could have thought or anything, and you're like, this is it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see as mansplaining.
I always tell guys, you need to have open communication with your person that you're talking to.
Yeah.
And always keep that line open, at least. You don't have to deal with her emotionally, physically anymore, but always have that you could be able to still have that dialogue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
what happens over time is if you don't have that dialogue, then you can never be sure exactly what, like, because women, it's not that they can't be honest. It's just I feel like they consider your feelings so much during is that they can't be as honest because they don't think you can handle
Yes,
it.
I would 100%.
So until after the
because
fact,
I've talked with several
Right.
chicks about that, and I'm like, why can't because I've told them I'll say to them, I'm like, if I'm being an asshole, like, tell me I'm being an asshole
in
but-
the moment, yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
right.
in the moment, but they're
So-
like, well, no, it doesn't. Like, I don't.
Girls explain this to me. Like literally, like from the time they're young, the way they grow up societally, like
hard
bro,
word.
they literally they dead the emotional response first. You know what I'm saying? They try to get that under control first. That's always their first. So like with their girlfriends, like you know how like when a girl comes to us with a problem, the guy's like, all right, I'm gonna try and fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
But when a girl goes to a girl with a problem, they're like, oh no, I understand.
I
I
just need you
hear
to
you.
listen. Yeah.
They literally just want like.
They want you to listen. Yeah.
they-
And I've struggled with that shit for so long because I'm
Bro.
exactly like I'm very much I'm a fixer. Like, what's the problem? Let's solve this. And then you get the like, well, you're not listening. It's like, I'm listening and trying to help you, and then you it's like,
no,
and you go like,
no.
oh,
They don't need you to solve
I
it.
just need to
Listen.
exist.
That's it. Right. Just be an earpiece.
And even if you don't even actually fucking listen to him,
Right.
just wow,
Yeah,
I just
They're different creatures
say,
than us.
Say
They're
little as
different
possible in those moments because
Yes.
they're not looking for insight.
less
just-
is more.
They're
Yeah,
looking to get it out.
Yeah,
right
they need
now.
to pour it out. Yes, that's what it is. It's like it's they let's say they're at work for some reason they can't get it out emotionally. So
Yeah.
then when they come to you, they just want to just let it pour out on you, and that's it. And they feel better after that.
Yeah, and the less you say, the less chance you put your own foot in your fucking
Yeah.
mouth.
And you make it less about you too. The less you say too.
Yeah. And it's kind of like I don't know. You know, I love quoting Abraham Lincoln. I think I think
Abraham Lincoln.
yeah. Abraham
That's one
Lincoln.
hood ass nigga.
I'm Abraham Lincoln.
I'm Abraham Lincoln.
I'm
Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
I'm John Biswat. I'm Abraham
I see what you did there. I saw what you did there. I saw what you did.
What was it? It's like it's better to say nothing and be thought an idiot than open your mouth and have
Right.
it confirmed.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's a little bit that mentality.
And this is a thing I just recently learned when dealing with somebody that's being emotional is that just apologize.
Yeah.
Because in that moment, there's nothing you could do to explain what she feels away. Because
Yeah.
you're trying to throw structure, you're trying to throw your logic onto
You're throwing grease
emotion.
on a fire.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what
no,
you're doing.
I've learned there is something you can do, but you're still throwing grease.
Yeah,
on
you're
the
still
fire.
throwing grease on the fire.
Bro, you'll win,
We'll win.
but there's still grease all
Yeah.
over that fucking
Right,
fire.
Right.
Then they'll just be like kind of miffed, annoyed with you.
Because like the way I win is like, remember that time you did this, and it was just like this situation right now,
Yeah.
and you justified, and then this.
Yeah, but then
No, I know it's gasoline
it's
all
still
over that
gasoline
shit.
over there.
but-
So I just realized just say sorry. I'm sorry for all of it, and just okay, all right, and just leave it as that.
And
No, I don't think that's the perfect one either.
Yeah.
Because
I-
like they
you
come
s-
back and remember that time you apologized? You knew you were wrong. Like it's like, bitch, no, it wasn't. I was just
I almost think a better.
I was just trying to.
No, well, you have to like genuinely apologize. It's not about being righteous. Like
Yeah. So if you
Right,
think
right.
you're wrong, then say you're wrong.
Yeah.
If you
yeah,
don't,
if
then
right, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking
Don't
about
just sorry-
say it.
don't
just
say
to
sorry just
throw
to
it away
appease
to
them.
push.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't say it to just push her away to get her to shut up or whatever. Yeah, but actually mean it.
Yeah, and also I'm learning. It's okay to take a moment. You don't have to immediately respond.
Right.
to
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
you
that's
could
a-
honestly take, bro.
Take days if you need to.
Yeah,
Dude,
no, exactly.
man.
Like,
Right.
like it's so much better to like
Guys don't understand,
calm
yeah.
down.
Write that down,
like,
Kings. Yep.
Even if it's not even if you don't
Right.
think you're being emotional with your response,
Yeah.
like it's still like there's no pressure. You don't have to respond immediately.
Right, right.
Sit
Getting
back,
into a battle of words is
think about
stupid
it.
as
Pointless.
a man.
Because-
Going into this with women, this is what they do
Pointless.
all
And-
day.
and-
You're not gonna win.
And you know why?
It's
You know why?
pointless.
Because they nitpick.
Right.
And so like
God,
you
And
could-
they're
you-
pulling from different time
you could-
frames too.
dude.
and you could- like you
They'll
could-
be pulling from a different lifetime you
Yeah,
haven't
right.
even lived yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What? I
Like,
don't even remember.
you can present them with a beautiful logic, right?
Right.
have you ever been hit with by a girl just waking up from a dream?
No,
That's never happened to you?
no, woman's never hit me. Because then we'd have some fucking problems.
Okay, I'm too large.
I have
Sometimes,
been. I had
Or
an ex,
she woke up angry as shit.
Yeah, just had a dream.
Over a dream.
A dream. Yeah, I've had that.
I don't think so.
I had an ex girlfriend that got mad at me.
Nobody, wait.
She literally started hitting me.
Okay, you know
Yeah.
what that is?
What is it?
That's my roommate downstairs.
Beating it up?
Beating it up. Now,
Okay,
like,
good for
I swear to God, if we open that door, and I wish I could get the fucking microphone to stretch, this Asian chick that comes over and he rails is one of these fucking, like fucking,
Wait, you talking like Kamehameha?
bro.
Spirit! Gotta go! God! Like, Yo, this is
Right when she finishes, you just hear the house.
Yo,
go,
so
I know fly.
like, bro, he got the whole DBZ cast up in there. They all going taking swings, bro. All taking swings. They got Oob up in there.
Like,
I'm gonna update it a little bit. United States smash.
and you know what?
Delaware Smasher.
And this is round 2. This is round 2 because they were going at it right before you got here. I went to like walk down and make sure the door was unlocked, and I opened the door and just immediately opened the door and she's like, and I'm like, oh.
Yo, like like I'm sorry, but like, what do you guys all picture in your heads right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. I can't hear something like this and not picture it. So like,
I know exactly what she looks like.
At first, I was picturing like some really hot chick, and then like I was like,
she's pretty good looking.
all right, that's cool. Because then I slid the other way on the scale, and like it went completely just like.
She is. I've seen her like twice on a scale of 1 to 10.
Don't lie.
1 to 30.
1 to 30.
Yeah.
Solid 18.
Okay, so
Okay,
she's pulling in
that's- yeah,
ugly.
she's-
She's
yeah,
pulling
she's-
in ugly.
Yeah, she's,
Like
she's a cute ugly.
yeah,
Cute ugly. Yeah.
if I was-
You know the scale.
yeah. Like if I was if I was gonna 1 to 10, I'd say maybe like a solid 7.
Okay.
Like you could make an argument for 8 though to me. Oh, that's the fucking. It's someone bringing the recycling in. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, I be breaking the recycling in too. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Yo,
That's phenomenal. We gotta get all.
yo,
of
I
them.
like you didn't
stop
know what
thinking
you were
about it?
doing. No, he didn't know what he was doing, but he just hurt my feelings a little bit. Nah, cause like I don't know if I shake a house when I fuck.
No. Hey, don't be offended. This house is so flimsy and probably definitely structurally unsound. Like when my roommate Ed just like walks out of the bathroom, my room shakes. When the wind blows a little too hard, there's been 1 or 2 nights where like a storm was happening, and I was like, this house might blow over.
No, I don't think about stuff like that. But that's interesting.
Oh, this
the
house
house
shakes
move when you
whenever
Well,
whenever
certain
anyone
things,
in this house fucks. the
being
house
an
shakes.
engineer, certain things are made to oscillate
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if they're rigid, they're more likely to break.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was made for something that stands about
Yeah.
like 3-4 stories.
Yeah.
Like definitely like if you're standing in a skyscraper, you'll feel it.
Yeah, you'll
wobble
feel it
when
move.
you
Yeah,
do
it has to.
needs
yeah.
to.
It needs
Yeah.
to give. Yeah.
Bridges the same way. Bridges like bro, you can
Yeah,
watch
it's got to
it.
be able to ebb and flow.
There was a bridge on. I forgot what state it was in, but there was a bridge. It did not wobble at all, and like bro, you just literally watched the whole thing just crumble underneath people.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, you need them to
Bad
shake.
engineers.
You need them to shake. Yep.
All right. Next topic that we wanted to talk about is some ideas that we have about questionnaires and being able to help you fellow kings and lady kings out there.
Yeah, because we are gonna, I would say at least probably by the new year, gonna start doing the phone line stuff.
Okay, new year, okay.
And so we want to start. I mean, essentially the idea with that is we'd like to have like fans listening, friends, anyone call in, and you can do it anonymously. We don't care. You can either leave messages throughout the week or call in live. And we'll just sort of like dive into whatever questions you have, like if you want us to evaluate your situation, kind of thing. Like that's really the idea of that. And so in that, I was thinking the other night, and I was like, I wonder if there is a kind of like questionnaire like thing, or just something that we can use that'll whether people can just use it for themselves to sort of see where they're at, or they want to get our advice, like even like maybe off phone line and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe like a Survey Monkey thing that we could even start to get like an idea stuff. But like essentially, I don't know. It's like the idea behind it would be that like we would present them like a series of questions, a series of maybe situations, and get their answers, their honest answers on it, and then we can kind of like
Based on that.
And
diagnose them, see where they're at.
honestly, girls, if there are any questions y'all want to ask about guys or anything like that,
Yeah,
Oh, send in
please.
questions.
like
Can they
please
send
send in questions. We'd love to answer them. If there's anything you find confusing about men, or you think we're complicated in any fucking way,
Or even if you just want to argue with us about
Yeah.
something that, from a past
Happily.
episode, we'll happily have that discussion.
Yeah, put it in the comment section. Ask a question that you think that would be valuable.
yep. You can also reach out to at charismatic comedy. At charismatic comedy at gmail.com, and we'll get right on that. I mean, feel free. I mean, we want you to participate. We definitely want to speak directly to our fans and people watching and participating. We want to affect you directly.
Or even if you just think I'm a cunt, tell me I'm a cunt. You know?
Definitely, if you think
Go
he's a
ahead.
cunt.
Go ahead. I'm sure there's gonna be plenty that will just call in and say that. That is totally fine. I welcome that.
Right. No, but
It's my kink.
just ask questions, because we don't have our own questions and scenarios and things like that. But if you have any, we'd like you guys to. It'd be our questionnaire.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
And also, like, ladies, like they'll let you know. I have no problem exposing male secrets. None.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, this is the thing.
Well, we are exposing Mel like the
Yeah.
way we think.
Because the whole point is
no, but like I'm talking game too.
we want them to.
Oh, he does this and this. Right? Is he trying to pick me up? Is he trying to play me? You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Like, I
Yeah,
got you.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
I got y'all, Lady Kings. I
Because
got y'all.
like it's really like we want. My goal with educating women in this is like making them understand what the male perspective is. Because
Yes.
a lot of them,
Yes.
a lot of them, you tell them what the male perspective is, and they go, "Well, no, I disagree with that." And it's like, okay, well, that's fine, you disagree, but I feel this way. So you disagreeing with that just outright just tells me that you're discounting my existence and my feelings on it.
And we're being honest.
Yes.
This will also teach them how to pick their real male friends, and not the ones that are secretly trying to fuck you still.
And I told him too. I
Your
just-
real male friend still may be willing to wanting to fuck you,
He's a
but
very patient guy.
you know what I'm
That's all.
saying? Like,
And honestly, that's a great test, even if you want to do it as a test. But ladies, if you're gonna do this test to a guy, like you have to be willing to like cut him off if you're not gonna actually do this. But go up to a guy friend that you think is just a friend, and ask him if he wants to fuck. And to me, if they're just a friend, they will say no. Because we're friends.
wrong.
What do you mean?
That's
What?
absolutely wrong. If they're let's say they're both just friends and they both happen, and this friend just happens to like sex, like they literally fuck anything,
Okay.
they'd probably say yes. And that's a lot of guys. I know
No,
a lot of guys like that.
I'm talking about like they're legitimate friends. The guy sees her as a good friend, and then the girl sees him as a good friend.
There's never been any
and then
history
she
of
asks it,
sexuality
or
anything like
or
that.
they've had this conversation before, and he said, "No, I would never fuck you."
See that one I like to go against more. I think that's more provable
Right.
than the other, because I do think there are male and female relationships that do include sex that they're finding
That
friends.
situation, I agree with you. That wouldn't mean anything.
Yeah,
right.
it wouldn't.
But I
the-
wouldn't define that as exclusively a friendship then. If once
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get sex.
You
Well,
see, I
I see
would.
what you're
It's
saying.
not.
I see what
It's,
you're
you're
saying.
literally
Is it-
not putting anything more on the table. It really is. You're not giving them more of your life. You're not giving them any more of that. Like literally, the only
I
thing
see
more
what
you
Ka-
share.
I
is
see what
sex.
Irish is saying. He's saying it's more like a
It's
situation.
more what's the difference though? That's really not like people are trying to put extra labels on everything.
But you know what? It's like when you introduce sex, more often than not, it does create an environment where feelings can start to develop.
because most people don't know how to be real with themselves. If sex has an emotional tie for you, then sex has an emotional tie for you. It's not for everybody. Not everybody that everyone fucks has an emotional tie. And if you know this one has a tie for you, don't do it.
That is true.
Like, come on
But
now.
I do.
If your friend,
prolonged sex with somebody, I think you're gonna develop feelings.
I think there's a huge chance of it. I don't think it's a given.
What's the percentage?
I also wonder. I want to know how
78,
often.
75 to 80.
Like I want to know how often too that the guys.
I'll say the same.
The guys in those situations aren't walking into it already with the mentality of I want to fuck this chick. Because
Most guys are down to fuck anyway.
Yeah, they're down to fuck anyways.
Yeah.
They're always down to fuck. So yeah, they're coming in with I'm down to fuck this
But
girl
getting
anyways.
feelings and all that may take some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we like as a guy, if we want to be your friend, we like your person already. So to fuck you is not that much further. It's not. It's that's even before we like you as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, guys, let's go into our clips.
oh yes, please.
King's Rounds Table.
Can we get a
What do you want to say, baby?
drop?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. That's why I said y'all.
So much room over here now.
I think that's it.
Oh yeah, you could. That's fine. We could rearrange our
I'm a
seats. That'd
big
be dope.
dude.
Big, very big. Dude. This is 4,
You
right?
see, like I usually
Yep,
like
this is
to
4.
work
Okay. So yeah, let's see it. So this lady's walking from the store.
Oh,
Turns her camera on, and then she sees
this is the worst.
weirdo
This is the fucking worst.
right here. And then he starts to follow. Now, we don't know what happens after the fact, but the reason why it's a very scary situation, and this is mainly for the lady kings out there.
Yeah, she shouldn't be walking away from the store. She should turn around and go back.
Yeah, she should walk towards the
Yeah,
store.
go back to the
Don't
store.
walk towards your car, lady kings, in that situation. If you feel somebody's following you, you go around other people. You make it more public. Don't make it one-on-one. Don't turn it into a one-on-one situation.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for it to is only me and you.
And address it too. Look,
Right.
are you following me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, speak up. Yeah.
Why are you
that's a great
standing
point.
so close to me?
He's
What's
like,
up?
Are you following me? Just say that. Just ask
Yeah.
him. What are you following me? That usually will scare him away too, because now he knows you're Yeah, but he may not give a crap either way if you know, if you don't know. So that's why I suggest more going back towards the store. It's probably better, safer.
Yeah.
And letting somebody know. I think this guy is creepy. I think he's following me.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need to, call the cops. And
Definitely.
let them deal with that situation because guys like that, I almost guarantee he's not working towards anything in his life.
No, he is
What is he working towards?
keeping her in his basement.
I'm talking about positive things, Karis.
I'm just saying. You said he was working towards nothing. Just because it's negative, don't mean you ain't working.
Anytime I say anything about working towards something, it's always positive.
Okay, then
Never
say that. Say
negative.
positive, not working towards
Negative.
something.
Okay, I would say working towards something positive
There you go. There you go.
that contributes to society.
Because don't negate a person's work just because you don't like the motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah, but trying to kidnap or rape or whatever that dude's about to do to that lady is not contributing to society positively in any way.
Yeah, but to say he's not putting in work is not fair.
Wow, that's evil. That's one of the evilest statements I ever heard you say.
You see, you say evil. I say that is one of the more.
I mean,
What is it called? I'm like literally. That's a very fair statement.
I don't
You think
we're-
it takes absolutely no effort to do that? I'm just being fair.
No, I'm not saying it takes effort. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to argue that in any way.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if you're a guy
Yep.
and you have to resort to hurting women in any way, shape, or form, now if you're being attacked, that's a whole different situation. But in this regard, right here, you're waiting to pounce and attack or kidnap or rape or whatever you're trying to do. Man, I mean, like. You can't do that. You just can't do
you
that.
can't.
Obviously, it's against the law and things of that nature. But if you have those kind of thoughts, Kings, any of you Kings have that kind of thought,
Go find
you'll
some
get
help,
some
yo.
help
Go get some help.
immediately.
Tell somebody, go get some
Immediately.
help. Because, like, before you act, like, literally, if you're having the thoughts, nobody can blame you, dog. You know what I'm saying? You didn't put those own thoughts in your head, but you can fix it.
Yeah, there might be
able to
other
fix it, you know what I'm
things
saying?
contributing to your thoughts.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, nobody can blame you for that. You speaking up will do everybody good. So, nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And you help yourself, too. Because there's a lot of guys, like you said, this in terms of mental issues, we don't like to
Yeah.
get help and things like that. We think we're okay, we're all right, we're fine. But sometimes we're not fine. And if you're at this point and you're thinking about hurting somebody, yeah, you have an issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're being fair. I mean, how do we know he's not like sent back from the future and she's about to give birth in a few months to like baby Hitler?
Because I don't know
Okay,
any
let's
future
stop that.
technology.
Let's stop that
I don't know any
nonsense.
future technology. Is there something more you're not
Come on,
telling us?
you're a fan of Terminator.
No, is there
too.
something-
You know how this
Look,
works?
did you see how that guy was dressed?
Yeah, he's not from the
He's
future.
not from the
an
future.
early
He's not from the
model Terminator.
Early
No.
model dork.
Like
dork,
one,
right.
like
He's
one that's a
flimsy.
little retarded. I don't know.
He's
They're
absolutely
just-
flimsy.
Like,
No.
he
It's all
has-
they could get their hands on.
And
Sorry
I'm
they couldn't
sorry.
get a G9.
I'm sorry. No matter what he's thinking of doing,
Right.
he's about to catch more of it. Did you see how scrawny that motherfucker was?
Right.
Why the hell would you go perpetrate this on somebody, end up in jail, and then have your booty hole loose?
Yes.
Yeah.
Make a lot of noise,
Maybe that's
ladies,
his move.
things like that.
Oh, you might be onto something. You might have found something.
I mean, rent free, roof over your head,
Free butt sex.
free butt sex, food, 30 square.
Maybe that's what he's going
square
for.
He can
meals
literally
a day.
attack anyone in prison.
Maybe he still just wants.
got a better chance
Maybe
of
he
getting
still
a
has
longer
quality.
sentence with a
Okay.
woman.
Maybe he still
Assault and battery, you'll go to jail automatically for that. You don't need to attack a woman to do that.
Maybe
I
You
know,
go
but-
punch a child in the face,
but it
and
helped.
that will solve the
Maybe he
issue.
didn't
Well,
want to
that-
do that. Maybe he didn't want to do that.
He couldn't find a child. He went with the next.
What?
best
He
thing.
couldn't find a child at wherever that
No,
place was? I don't
he
know
wasn't
where
there
that
at baby punching hours. He was not there at baby punching hours. That's what it was.
All I'm saying is you could break somebody's window, you could steal somebody's mail. There's a lot of things you could do to go to prison
You
without
could weirdly
actually-
follow somebody around.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I understand that, but I don't feel that's not an option. I don't want that to be an option for you guys.
It's not an option. If you want to get your booty hole clapped, there are much easier ways of going about it.
There's gay clubs. There's all types of
Yeah,
things you can do.
there's mad people that clap your booty cheeks. Don't go end up in jail.
There's
yo.
toys. You could go buy something, put it up your ass. There's so many.
You know what I'm
things you can
saying?
do.
Like you know, if you want
Do
to
not
free
resort to
butt
this,
fucking,
Kings. Ever.
Don't do this.
Ever. There's way too much vagina out here.
Man,
To
come
be
on now.
trying to chase and lock down.
Like
and
the
force
whole
somebody.
thing, the whole thing about sex for me is that they're giving it.
That they want it.
That they're
They
like,
want
here,
it. They want me
take
to
this
give it to 'em.
shit.
Yes,
You know what I'm
that's-
saying?
that's
Like
like-
that's
that's
the yes. Like sometimes they tease too much.
I'll
That
give
shit
it
be
to
a
you,
quick
baby.
turn off. If you get me confused as to you wanting it or not, like bro, my erection goes down so fast.
Right.
Like it damn near comes out my asshole. You dig what I'm saying? Like now you have to want.
you
that.
want it.
If
You
you're
have
not
to
into
want
it, it's not sexy.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
it's
It's not.
not
I don't
sexy.
want it anymore. Yeah, I don't
And
want
it
it.
can't even be like you like fake it. Like I don't like chicks like fake and shit. Like no, like if you're not into it, like we're not doing this.
It's difficult to understand. Like I said, there's prostitutes. There's so many things out there available to you that you don't have to resort to this type of thing ever. And lady kings out there, make sure you pay attention to your surroundings.
Like, I'm sorry. Can I bring up a point that my people might not like?
You're a kid. Go ahead.
Word. The law is always trying to outlaw prostitution, right?
Which is
Can you guys
retarded.
think of how, like, I my biggest thing is like, yo, how much more rape would happen if people did not have that as an outlet?
If there was no prostitutes,
You mean how much less rape would happen?
How much more? I think.
if there wasn't,
I think more would happen. Or do
Oh,
you guys
sorry. I see
disagree?
what you're saying. Yeah. If there was, no, I think if it was more legalized, I think there would be less rape. But
Because there are so many people that don't know
it
how
would
to
be
get
cheaper too if it was legalized,
Yeah.
and cleaner.
and cleaner and safer too, and more regulations and everything like that. Yeah.
Like, I understand the worry about, like, people, like, humans
It's just
selling
it's
and
the-
trafficking and shit. Like, that's a huge problem. I
Yeah, it's just the
understand that, but,
origins of
like,
our country is very religious, and we still kind of hold on to those ideals.
Can we just let's move towards practicality.
Yeah, pragmatic. Yeah,
Let's
let's
be,
be
you know
pragmatic.
what I'm saying? Let's
be
move
pragmatic.
towards that in everything.
Wait, but
Economy.
This is why I
econo- like-
want sex dolls to look like children, and then you give them to the pedophiles.
Yeah, no.
It's the same idea.
I
Solve that
don't want
issue.
the way you said it made it sound like you wanted them all to look like kids.
Yeah. I was like, whoa.
No, not.
He's like, I want all the sex dolls to look like kids,
Oh
damn
yeah,
it.
I mean, be able to look like kids so it can help the pedophiles out. Because my thing is like it's a
That's
sickness.
a hard life.
It's
That's a hard
sickness.
life, bro.
They
is
don't
it-
wanna be
you
attracted
see-
to
you see,
children.
people will say it's a sickness, but that was the way the world was operating for thousands of freaking years. Is
Bro,
it a
I've
sickness?
said that for a long time.
or
It's
bro,
like,
that's just that's a normal way of thinking that is not accepted anymore.
it's
But we
exactly-
know more now.
Yeah, it's not
we
accepted.
understand. We
That's the
understand more
difference.
now
It's not
that
accepted.
a child is
But-
not emotionally ready.
Nobody's arguing
No,
that.
but
with
you can see
Nobody's
like
arguing
it,
that.
where it could be
That's
maybe,
the difference, though. It's not accepted anymore. It's
Yeah.
not that it's a disease.
like,
No.
like we did that for tens of thousands of years, and then all of a sudden we just went, oh, this
if
isn't okay
anything,
anymore.
that's more normal than marrying people of age that we're doing now. So no, it's not that it's something.
Well, that's because we were
odd.
dying by like 30.
Bro, you're absolutely correct. But if things like, bro, men still have nipples. Like, if other things hung
Yeah, that
around
is
from
strange,
those
by the way.
times,
Why do we have to?
because bro, it's a like
so that girls can play with them.
it wasn't.
Are you kidding? Do you
So-
know how great it is?
No,
on a
it's
chick
because
playing
does feel
with
good
we
with
were
that.
feminine in the womb first, right?
well,
That's right.
there's
That's part of
that,
it.
there's
That's part
that,
of
and then
right.
also like there might have been a time that they were of use to us, but since then the DNA hasn't seen him as such what is it called
necessity.
no what's the opposite, something that works against you. I'm looking for the word it hasn't seen your DNA basically hasn't seen it as harmful enough to remove it. You know what I'm saying? We still have that. We still have our appendix.
appendix, gallbladder.
We don't use those anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Gallbladder,
But they were
tonsils.
useful at one time. So just like this way of thinking might not be useful today, it was definitely useful at one time. It's not a disease. That's like saying your appendix is a disease. No, it's just not accepted anymore. It's not needed. It's not used.
I have a hard time with that because I don't like because I love children.
I do too. But
I
like,
don't
So,
want.
so do pedophiles.
I'm a
Yeah,
very
so that-
pragmatic
yeah,
person,
I
though.
know
I'm
you
a
was gonna say that.
very pragmatic.
That's why I paused because I thought
Like,
about
bro,
that.
I go and
That
coach
love
and
them
shit
too.
like that,
Yeah.
just so I can be have some type of effect on their life going forward. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's very important. But like to be pragmatic about this situation, it means everything.
Yeah, I want options given to them
Yeah.
other than just they're evil, destructive.
I just didn't like it
people.
being called a disease because,
Right,
bro,
right.
in every way I'm explaining it now, it's more normal than what we're doing now. Because this is like a couple hundred years that we're doing this.
All right, Charismatic. I'm just gonna.
I'm
I understand. Yes, I agree.
Nobody's saying it's
I agree.
okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying okay. I don't like thinking about it like that, but because it makes
That's
me
why. That's why I ask people to be
Yeah, yeah, it
pragmatic
makes me-
about
it makes
everything.
me
It's not
uncomfortable.
easy to be
I'm
pragmatic
just saying
about
it makes
everything.
me uncomfortable. Logically, you're sound
True.
completely. You're 100% right.
No, but like I'm asking everybody else to do what you just did. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It's difficult. It's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable.
But let's be fucking pragmatic.
Right.
So like all these trans people playing sports, can we sit down and have the discussion finally? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, people are definitely women are definitely feeling a certain way and all that.
Get
Can
rid
we
of
have a discussion?
Get rid of 2 gender leagues. Just make 1 league. Whoever's best can fucking.
That's
be
what
on
I
the
think.
team.
That's what I think the answer should be. But I understand I might be a little harsh. So can we talk about it?
Yeah.
It depends on the sport.
I agree. Can we talk about it?
It depends on the sport. I'm not gonna go any further than that, but it depends on the sport.
Bro, there's no 2 ways to go because I can't make a decision for everybody. So let's talk about it. Not us here. Let's as a society, let's talk about it. It's time.
Let's go into our next and final clip. of the.
I think we got 2 more because Charismatic sent me one.
Okay, cool.
All right, we got this one. Here we go. Wait, did I put the split view on? Let me just make sure I'm not stupid.
Yeah, no, the last one is definitely a charismatic clip. Guerbys said he loved the kids.
Yo, the juice getting down.
With 2 white women at that.
No, there's only 2 white women. It's OJ.
OJ like
He's
white
like,
women,
listen, I know how to murder some pussy better than I know how to murder some white pussy better than anyone.
Yeah.
Get it, juice.
Juicy.
Oh my God, they probably have no idea who that is.
No, they know.
There's so much white girls in that club, man.
And they know that was.
Did anybody was anybody there counting them and make sure they all made it home that night?
This is. I wanna bring up this point, like the opposite guy that the first clip, who's a loser, right? He's a nobody, right? Juice has accomplished a lot of things. I know we don't like to bring
Including
that up anymore.
killing and finding more white women.
Yeah,
Phenomenal football player.
people don't like to admit this, but he's probably, arguably, the greatest running back of all time. But no
And
one
the
likes to
greatest
bring.
murderer.
And allegedly. Oh no, he was cleared of all crimes. He was cleared of all
Allegedly, he definitely stole his memorabilia back. No question about that.
No, definitely.
So,
for sure
no
he did
question about that. With guns drawn out. And
Shit,
everything
I
like
would
that.
too.
But all I'm saying is that when you are when you become a high status male, you become so great at something. Is that women? I'm not saying these women don't care that he killed a fellow white woman, but I don't think they really do.
He wouldn't
ultimately.
do that to me.
Yeah, right. So this is your future, possibly, if you get so good at something that you become memorable. forever
Like
for it.
I've said this many times
And
before.
this is a murder about
Bro,
it.
bro,
Maybe
Charles
allegedly.
Manson
Allegedly.
had a legion of women.
I will say this time and time again.
What's up?
But bro, it doesn't matter what you get good at.
Right.
Get good
Get
at something.
something.
Like you will get women. Like just get good
You
at
know what it is?
something.
Just think of our society, how we look at OJ.
It's the mentality of like why someone like Rogan always tells people like, have you tried doing jujitsu? Or like
Right.
anytime you talk to a jujitsu person, they're like, have you ever tried doing jujitsu? Because it's like when you go there and you start learning the discipline of that and the like what it takes to move through those steps, like that shit trickles out.
Right.
Like anything that takes discipline to get good at,
Yep.
like that infests the rest of your life. And
True,
that is an
true.
And you
incredibly
become a
attractive
more
quality.
interesting person
Yes.
while you're doing so.
Facts.
So all the things that you think like, oh, I'm not an interesting guy, blah, 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 once you get good at something, that automatically make you more interesting.
And it also doesn't matter if you think you're interested.
Yeah, it doesn't
like,
matter. No, you are interesting because you got good,
Yeah,
good at
it's
something.
like, are you good at something? Are you enjoying like
Are
the
you
shit that
enjoying
you're
it?
doing? Then
Right.
that's all you need. It's not like any.
And the reason why I bring this up is because OJ, look how he's perceived in our society as this horrible, murderous person, and
He's
look
a
at that
pariah.
vagina surrounding him constantly, and they'll never stop because he's been able to accomplish things and be able to improve himself or set himself up for later in years that women still find him very appealing to be around.
Yeah.
I will venture to say that he smashed both those girls that night.
They probably had a third friend and he brought
Yeah,
along
probably
too.
smashed them too. Yeah, he's living his life very lovely.
He's juicing. He's juicing, baby.
So despite all the negative press that he gets, despite all the
There's no
social,
such thing as negative press.
well, we could argue that.
So, excuse me, bad publicity.
But yeah, there we go. So even with all of that, women are still surrounding him. Just like if we could talk about all the serial killers that have killed
Yup.
in our history.
They still got women.
Women
Look,
toss their
look at
vaginas
Charles
them.
Manson.
Charles Manson.
He had a fucking legion of chicks that were loyal to him because
And still more writing him in jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like
If Charles Manson can get women,
right.
anybody can.
Anyone can. So it's just that I just want to remind you of that even at the depths of whoever the person is, they can be the most horrible person ever. You can still get.
You know what else too? I think a lot of guys need to.
Are you better than OJ? Yes. You can get with it.
A lot of guys need to put their ego aside, and what I mean
Some
by
people.
that is, like especially like some of these guys that, for lack of a better term, are like incels and stuff. It's like, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to walk in and immediately start getting 10s. You might not ever get a 10. So it's like, and I'm not
Shit, you might be secretly gay. Who knows?
And seriously,
But 8.5 is really good.
but even that.
Shit, anything is really good if you ain't getting nothing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
If you need experience,
That is true.
If you want to get in the NBA, like charismatic when he was trying to get in the NBA, it's not like he just was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait till the NBA calls. He was taking the steps to get up to that. So it's like, you know what I mean? You might have to, guys, start with a 3, like, but you get experience from that, and you take. It's like a video game.
Yo,
you get the
you start with a 3. Guess what? It's still a woman. It does womanly things.
You
might be able to learn womanly things from it.
It's like World of Warcraft. Okay, you start out in the forest, killing the level 1 hogs and pigs, and then eventually you're slaying fucking elvish pussy. I don't know.
Yeah, but you still use the same. You start with the buttons that you hit to kill the pigs, and then you build on that.
By the time you're level 80, you're like, oh, I understand how
You
to play
slay
my
dragon
character.
pussy.
I like it's these things that I learned slaying the pigs and the fucking goblins.
Right.
It's
No, I agree with that.
you know what I mean. It's like a lot of these like
Start small.
like
Life is a video game.
Yeah, progress like a video game. You don't start at max level.
White guys have it on easy.
Fair. I literally love. Did you ever?
That's not my joke. The comic came up with that.
Did you ever see this the South Park video game? The like the what is it called? There's Stick of Truth and
Yeah,
then
Stick of
there's the
Truth.
Fractured Butthole.
Yeah, Fractured Butthole, yeah.
Fractured Butthole. The difficulty meter goes from easy to difficult, and it's like the difficult is just a picture of Token.
Yeah.
Like, the only like if you it's basically like if you make your character black, you're playing on difficult mode,
Yeah.
but it's not like it's not any harder.
That's
it's just like they're
hilarious.
jumping into it. It's fucking so.
Right. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating thing. But yeah. Don't worry about your status and all that and who I am and how people view me. You'll never be too much of a loser for a non-woman to sleep with you.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, time for the. No. There's more to it. Look at the age of that child.
Is he possibly special needs?
Looks like he might have been in a fire or something. See, we need a yay or nay section. We need a yay or nay section. Like,
I swear to God, I was like,
Like-
usually in my mind, they look fucking related.
Yeah, they look related right
they
there.
do look related.
At the end there. That was like very disturbing.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Charismatic. Why? Why did you bring
So
this up?
the reason I brought this up was that I
It's our
just
new segment, charismatic. Why?
that would be a good segment. That would be a good segment. I just send you guys something and you guys just ask me why.
Why?
So like no like you guys know like I'm big on sexuality and things like that, but I do think there's a time and a place to start. I think there's an age to start. I think that was just completely. I know that maybe they're just trying to maybe they're trying to bring him into adulthood or something, but like he was way too young and that was way too advanced for his age.
Well, it's also weird. Like, who wants? Perceivably, he's there with his family. Like, those are like.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to be getting horny around my family.
Yeah. Man.
Like, I
that's
wouldn't
so
like.
complicated.
Yeah.
Because humans have always done like a rite of passage
Yeah.
Yeah.
to some degree to
That's
manhood.
fair. That's fair.
And so this family has decided this is the way they do it. I think it's wrong also.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's
wrong.
a little much.
You introduce them to something that he's not ready to deal with emotionally yet.
You could see it on his face
Right,
too.
right,
he
right,
definitely wasn't ready to deal with it.
Or at least,
emotionally. He wasn't
at
even
least let him do
ready
it
to
in
look at
private.
it.
Christ,
Right,
it's just
right,
like
right.
you got like all your family watching. They're all probably like smiling and all that. Like, it's if you think about it, it's like when you're that age, sometimes it's pretty uncomfortable just like being at family gatherings. And you
Yeah.
got to like talk to a bunch of adults all looking at you, asking you questions and shit like that. Alone, I remember just being uncomfortable with that shit. So I can't imagine it's like you got this big ass all dancing up on you. You got all these confusing feelings, and then your family's looking at you and all this shit. It's like that's like overload.
Yeah.
I didn't see at his age. I didn't see women as very attractive to me.
Like I
What
definitely
age? Are we
like
saying,
no.
assuming that's 12.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
know.
think
I was-
that looked 12 to me. That looked 12.
I wasn't really
I think 12
super
is
attracted
fair.
to grown women, like adult women.
I
at
was.
that age.
I was.
I was.
You was?
I
I have
was.
no idea. I've always kind of like had a thing for older women.
I remember as early as like K2. Yeah, K2.
Being attracted to older women.
I trying to look up skirts and shit. Yeah,
that's-
I always
feel like
my
second,
thing for
third grade for
skirts.
me.
My thing for skirts started way back then. I've loved them always. I've always like
I'm
yeah.
trying to
I also
scare my
found like
brain.
a porno mag in the woods when I was like really young, and so
And like I wasn't like I hadn't discovered porn or any of that shit yet.
Oh
I just,
yeah,
I was just
yeah.
like,
Women naked, yeah,
wow.
made me horny. But seeing women just out and about, I was never like curious.
No, if I saw a nice ass, I was already bro. Like before I knew what horny was, I liked nice asses.
I'm trying to think. Did I do that too? Because I don't remember coming to the realization that I was attracted to women until I got a little bit older.
So my mom stopped letting me talk on the phone in like the second grade because like she caught me on the phone talking about some like some ass I had just seen with a friend of mine. So like yeah, it's always been an issue for me, man. I never had a choice in that. That's why, like, yeah, I feel bad for pedophiles. Like, I didn't have a choice in that, and like that's control. Like that people see as normal. Like, thank God. Like, but like, and that's even the weird normal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still taboo. Or is it?
Taboo, hey.
It's that's it. That was that joke a little bit. But 2019. I mean, is it still taboo? Who knows? That's everything I wanted to cover. Y'all got anything?
No, that's all. That's all. So, you guys have any other thoughts or anything like that?
No, we covered a lot of good shit today.
Great.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this backs up like it was supposed to, and then we don't have to worry about this. But that's the Kings Podcast. My name is Guerbys.
Charismatic.
Yo, I'm Irish O'Neal. Thanks for watching, Kings.
Peace.
Illuminati's just a state of mind. They corrupted its symbolism to make you blind. They don't want you motivated to take the top. They want you down here as a hopeless slave to the day you die. It's time for your cheat check, nigga. Welcome to the gangbang dungeon. Shit ain't safe if your chain hang the chill.